Corey Lindsey led the dozen-car field to green for the USA International Memorial 100 on Monday night.
Carlos Acosta made quick work to negate Lindsey's random pole draw, charging the lead.
Justin Kolb made a charge early, passing Lindsey for second on lap 4. On lap 6, Kolb overtook Acosta into the race.
Meanwhile, the three-time reigning three-rock race winner, Matt Greenberg, fell to the tail of the field on the opening lap. He opted to drive through on lap 2 down pit lane to get out of the traffic and hoping for a caution that would never fly.
Come through 3 and 4, Justin Kolb. He's going to see 30 laps to go in this race. A little bit ahead of Carlos Acosta, who currently runs P2.
James Miller, we see here, Josh, just trying to survive right now. He's got Matt Hackathorn all over him, and James Miller really aggressive beginning of this race, but trying to get into the top 5, or stay in the top 5 for the end of this race, Josh. But he's just fallen off a cliff compared to the rest of these guys.
Matt Hackathorn, he's been just kind of hanging around 4th place all race long. You mentioned it, looking right there behind James Miller. I don't know if there's going to be enough time for Hackathorn to complete this pass, trying to get up there with Carlos and Justin. But Hackathorn, I mean, he's got some life right now. He's done a great job taking care of those tires.
I think we're going to have some issues for the leaders. Going to be catching Trevor Butler pretty quickly. See him right there and right ahead of the race leader, Justin Kolb. So this could be a factor for Carlos Acosta running second right now.
Yeah, might easily bring Carlos to Kolb. Kolb doesn't get around Trevor Butler quick enough.
Yeah, you mentioned this battle for third, Josh, and Hackathorn really attacking the exit of these corners right now. Good run on the front straightaway here. Going to try and make a charge into turn 1 on the inside of James Miller.
James Miller, I don't think he's going to defend. He's just going to run the high line. Matt Hackathorn gets by. I'll put Hackathorn P3.
Up front, Justin Kolb made quick work around that 12 car, Trevor Butler, so Carlos Acosta trying to make something happen now in P2, a little bit loose off of turn 4, stuck behind the 12 car.
And you know what? Actually, this might easily play into Hackathorn's favor. Acosta underneath Butler right now. See if Butler's going to make this difficult on Carlos. Hackathorn might be scoring here, but no. Acosta's going to get around Trevor Butler.
And that was a bad place for Matt Hackathorn to catch the 12 of Trevor Butler. And another lap car in the fray. It's going to be Corey Lindsey just ahead of these guys. Justin Kolb just put him a lap down.
Hackathorn now clear of Butler, and James Miller actually going to look underneath Butler as well. Miller might be able to get catch back up to Hackathorn. Now that lap car of Lindsey is between Acosta and Hackathorn. Lindsey moves up. This is going to allow Hackathorn to get on by Lindsey with no issues. Now Hackathorn looking. He's actually got clear track between himself and Acosta and the race leader, Justin Kolb. You know, there's nobody between him and Carlos Acosta.
Talking about these guys trying to save the rubber all the way to the end, Josh, and unfortunately Kevin Finn is having to pit right now for a tire change. I think if he does come back out on the racetrack, he's going to be really fast on those fresh tires, because that's just been the name of the game the last couple weeks here on these short ovals.
Yeah, tire tire work came into play last week. You know, we saw those that saved tires early on in the race. We're coming alive late in the race. And so I agree. I think Finn, he's going to be a lot faster. And I think, you know, kind of like what we're seeing here now. Of course, Finn is in pit road getting fresh tires. He's actually exiting right now. He's going to be right in front of the leaders here. Where, depending on where he blends out, this could be sketch. He's actually going to stay down there.
Here comes Carlos Acosta. Second place, going to get stuck right behind Kevin Finn, but it's going to be a battle for that second position because Carlos Acosta did not get off that fourth corner very well, Josh. Here comes Matt Hackathorn, going to continue to pressure him.
No, he did not. He ran wide, and he's going to run wide again out of turn 2. Hackathorn doing a great job with those shallow exits. I talk about it from time to time. I love those shallow exits. I mean, it's going to save you a ton. Well, this time, Hackathorn actually wider on the exit than Carlos is. But Hackathorn, he's got the speed. I don't know, though. 18 to go. He's got to get around Acosta quick.
James Miller not letting these guys run away. He's been conservative the entire race, just very strong in the early part, but right now later in the going trying to stay in touch. As you see, Kevin Finn has gone around the race leader, but battle for second heats up down the front stretch.
Hackathorn going to look to the inside. Carlos Acosta actually going to go to the outside. Really no contest there for second. Now Hackathorn, he's got nobody between himself and Justin Kolb. I was just saying that, I don't know, a couple laps ago, if Hackathorn had enough time, nobody's between himself and Justin Kolb. He's right there. This, honestly, might be exactly what Hackathorn needs.
Yeah, still plenty of time to go, Josh. 16 laps at this track is going to go by really fast, but with these tires this angry, this aggressive on this long of a run here at USA International, it's going to be very hard for Justin Kolb to try and keep him off. Even though he's had one of the best cars tonight, it just might be using that rubber up too much as you see him trying to look around the 10 of Brady Smith here, and Matt Hackathorn now going to get to the inside on the front straightaway, but that cost Justin Kolb quite a lot though, the angle he caught that 10 car.
Yeah, Hackathorn actually got lucky with where he caught Brady Smith. Justin Kolb not so much, so Hackathorn, he kind of got a little bit of a present there. 14 to go at the line. Hackathorn's there. I mean, he's got the speed. I just don't know. Hackathorn is a little bit quicker than Kolb. You just see him closing in. This is incredible. This race has been green the entire distance. "12 laps to go." Hackathorn is there.
Really gaining a lot of his time up on the corners, Josh. Like I mentioned, really attacking these corners, trying to make something happen against Justin Kolb. Very aggressive again into turn 1, almost right to the back bumper of that GR86. Trying to make something happen, maybe upset the 52 car just a wee bit, make him lose his tire tracks, but Matt Hackathorn is going to continue to play a little bit nice here, Josh. Just give him enough space, coming to 10 to go.
When's Hackathorn going to make his move? He's going to stay right there, tucked up behind Justin Kolb. That time, Justin Kolb actually going to touch the apron a little bit. Oh, I thought that was a chance for Hackathorn to get underneath. It's not.
That was a really great exit for Hackathorn, Josh. That was one of his best launches off the corner.
Hackathorn is staying patient. He's doing a great job, not forcing the issue. Well, there he goes. He's looking underneath Justin Kolb. They're going to be side by side.
Cole missed the
Kolb
bottom.
is.
In 1
Yeah,
and 2.
he's putting up a fight. The rest of the drivers that Hackthorn has gotten by have allowed him to get past. Kolb is defending, and we actually just had a lap car race Clark. He stayed on the bottom, allowed these guys to get by. Now Hackthorn's going to clear Kolb. Kolb's still right there, though. Justin Kolb get the lead back, or is Hackthorn going to start driving away with this thing? This is incredible. Hackthorn getting the lead.
Justin Kolb a little bit unsteady there off of turn 2. Hackthorn has a little bit of connection issues down the back straightaway. Still with a little bit of comfortable gap though, Josh, over Justin Kolb. Rest of the field just trying to ride to the end here. Pretty much everyone else in their own races right now, just trying to make it to the finish while these two battle for the lead.
It's a 0.3 of a second difference between first and second. Justin Kolb, he lost the lead, but he's not letting Hackthorn get away. Kolb is still right there. I think Hackthorn's just a little bit better. He's starting to pull away little by little.
Just saw Brady Smith come out of the pit lane on the fresh tires. With less than 5 to go. I don't think he will be effective for these leaders, but on those fresh tires, he really will be much faster than these guys. Could be an issue for someone on the lead lap here.
Four laps to go. I don't know if he's going to get up to these guys. A little bit of gap between himself and Carlos. Justin Kolb falling off a little bit more of Matt Hackthorn. Adam, we thought that Matt Grunberg was going to come in here and dominate. Fastest in practice. Had a pretty good draw for starting position. But went to the back early on. I don't think Grunberg's going to go 4 in a row, but we may have the name Matt collect 4 in a row if Matt Hackthorn can hold on. He's currently got Butler right in front of him. Trevor Butler. Hackthorn going to look to the inside and quickly get around Butler. 2 laps to go. Honestly, this might be everything Justin Kolb did not want to see. Kolb actually going to get stuck behind Butler.
Another opportunity here for Hackthorn to try and put another distance between, with Jess Story coming to the white flag though, Josh.
And the white flag is waving. Matt Hackthorn, all he has to do is not pay attention to the mirror. Give me one more set of corners and you can do all the celebrating you want, bud. Matt Hackthorn, he's through 3 and 4 on the front stretch. Checkered flag waving. Matt Hackthorn, winner tonight's USA International Memorial 100.
And you talked about it, Josh. It wasn't a dominating performance tonight by him, and it wasn't a dominating performance by Matt Grunberg, but it was still another great finish tonight. And it was a real battle of the tire wear. We mentioned it last week. Probably going to be a huge issue again next week, but just to see all these lead lap guys that were able to make it to the finish on the lead lap, doing a phenomenal job, hanging on to their cars, hanging on to those tires for 100 laps around here.
These donuts, they're not the greatest with these cars, but Hackthorn still can try his best. Using the grass a little bit to help. He's getting some smoke. But I'll tell you what, I'm not a big donut guy, but Victory Donuts are my favorite. Tonight's race winner, driver the number 04, Matt Hackthorn. Just Gold. He dominated this race, but comes up short, finishing P2. Carlos Acosta finished 3rd. James Miller 4th. Brett Miller finishes in 5th, and Matt Grunberg trying for 4 in a row. He doesn't get it. He finishes 6th tonight.
Jess Story in the number 7 ended up the last car on the lead lap in the 7th position, with Race Clark losing a lap. Aiden Wade of the leaders there in the late couple stages of the race finishes 8th. Trevor Butler in the 12 finishes 9th. Kevin Finn in the 14 ends up 10th. Corey Lindsay in the double O ends up 11th, and Brady Smith ends the night for the number 10 machine in 12th.
Got up with our 3rd place finisher, Carlos Acosta. So Carlos, noticed you got the lead pretty early in this race and then fell back to 3rd. I have to believe that you might have been doing some tire saving there. So was it, just kind of planned to fall back after getting the lead early on, or what was going on in that 24?
Well, they're definitely tire safe, especially considering last week. I didn't have a plan to just fall back. Corey started on the pole, and he was struggling all during practice session. He was saying he was going to get out of the way in the beginning, and I kind of figured maybe if I kind of like push him early, I can get the lead, and then just kind of like play it my way from the controller from the front. And then if Justin or whoever else got behind me got to my inside, I'll let them by. I'm not gonna hold them up. And I led for I think a couple laps. I think it was 4 or something. And Justin got to my inside, and I let him by. I'm not gonna kill my tires, taking it easy. I noticed that everybody was kind of like breaking into the corner, slowing down, and then getting a really good drive off. But what I was doing all practice session and all race was just backing off really early, not even touching the brake, and then just going. I think I only had to touch the brake a couple times, so when I maybe overshot the corner, and that really helped me save tires. I think Justin had like 20% left on his tires. Hackathorn around that same area, I think a little bit more. I had 40% of my tires. I probably could have contended more. I'm just too inexperienced being up front. So I probably could have pushed it more, but yeah, it was just a deal. Thankfully, I didn't drop further back, and eventually people started like dropping even further from tire wear and not being able to turn. But I was constantly there with Justin and James until I think eventually James dropped back, and then it was Justin and I thought I had something for him because I was constantly running faster lap times than him, just staying behind him. And I don't know what Justin did, but he just started pulling away, and I started kind of admitting defeat. And then Hackathorn just came out of nowhere and just passed both of us in the span of like 10 laps, and then he just took it. He played it perfectly. He had like the perfect amount of wear compares to saving and being up the front. We couldn't do anything about that. Hackathorn just he nailed us, and the whole time we were hoping we wouldn't get a caution, because if we got a caution, then everybody's favorite alien, Matt Grunberg, was going to win that race. Still don't know what happened to him, why he had to go down Pear Road. I'm guessing maybe a penalty in the beginning. But if a caution came out, that no contest. Matt was going to win that race, or Grunberg was going to win that race, I should say. But wow, yeah, saving tires definitely played a huge part. I am really glad I only dropped to 3rd. That's the lowest I ran. Got to 2nds and just dropped one more spot. But can't complain about a 3rd place finish. This is only 6 races. Grunberg had a middle of the pack finish, so that's going to help the rest of the competition kind of catch up for Richmond next week. And I'm gonna see what the points are at, but it's gonna be a challenging race for sure.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. Next week come Richmond, it should be a lot of fun to see how the points are going to stack up. But as far as this race goes, it was a great run for you. Any sponsors, shout outs you'd like to give? Who gets done behind that 24 for you?
Yeah, I mean, we got to thank Drew Eisman for doing a great job with all the schemes. That's really the only sponsor we have here. Got to thank you guys for the broadcast. I know we had some technical difficulties, but wherever's going to get posted, it's going to get posted, and we'll go from there. But Yeah, just glad I can come out here, do this for fun. It's fun to be up in the front.
And now with our second place finisher, Adam is caught up with Justin Gold.
Yeah, hey Justin, you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, it was a pretty dominant race out of yourself early. Once you were able to get to the lead, what was the track conditions like? A lot of battling behind you, and really a very competitive race at the beginning with a lot of different drivers at the front of the field.
Yeah, for sure. And that made it a lot of fun there. I felt like me and James Miller were pretty good, even. Seemed like I got to a point there where I was a little faster, so I just went ahead and made the move. And I was honestly pretty content if he wanted to make the dive underneath to just give him it back. But eventually I felt like I got him in a position where Carlos was able to take advantage. And from that point, I just tried my best to take off the best I could. Got pretty clear there when we got into lap traffic a little bit, and they started. I think Carlos was blocking his life off back there behind me, which was great to see. But unfortunately, I couldn't really do anything about Matt Hackathorn, who was sitting in fourth and just kind of biding his time. So I mean, he played that perfectly. Would have loved to win. I gave it all I had there at the end, but it was fun, clean. He didn't shove me out of the way or anything like that. So good racing. And yeah, these things are pretty interesting. I think I'm starting to get the hang of it, but they're pretty interesting to race, especially around these ovals, but in a fun way.
Well, you mentioned starting to get the hang of it. How much, if at all, did you learn from last week at Sobo that you were able to carry over to this track? Of course, being shorter, paved racetracks here, and like you mentioned with this road racing car, able to take the field a little bit by storm for the most part of this race tonight.
Yeah, for sure. And there was definitely a point, at South Boston, I was using the apron a lot. You could use that a little bit here. I don't know that it was too much of an advantage, but at least for me, it helped the car turn a little bit more, just try and get all I could out of it. So that definitely helped, just kind of, because I haven't had a whole ton of races in these cars. So it was good, South Boston, to just kind of learn how to keep the momentum up in these cars. And I definitely think that helped tonight with all that. Once I kind of figured out what I was doing at this track and how you had to race it, yeah, it was good.
Well, we only have one more week left in the Three Rock Series. Can you carry over anything from tonight to another three-quarters mile racetrack at Richmond and try and one-up yourself tonight with a win in the finale?
I definitely think so. I just had to kind of learn, tire fall off. I felt like last week, I didn't capitalize enough on the amount of tires that I had left. So I guess this week I sort of overextended a little bit. So I'm hoping that I can meet in the middle next week at Richmond. I do like Richmond. It's a good track. So we'll hope for the best and just hope that these last two ovals I was on, I can take all I've learned and put it together and finally take to victory lane.
Now I'm here with Matt Hackathorn, winner of tonight's race. Matt, what a great job you did. I noticed you were just kind of sitting around waiting and saving tires, and then it just seemed like a switch flipped and you took off. I mean, was that the game plan? Just sit back, let everybody else do their thing?
Yeah, I was trying to keep him about like a second ahead of me or so I could still get a draft because, believe it or not, it made probably about 2 to 3 tenths of difference a straight. Anytime I got close, I'd start pushing it, but once I saw about 3 seconds of gap behind me, I kind of figured it was between the four of us, so I just wanted to stay within striking distance, and then if opportunity presented itself, I would have moved forward sooner, but pretty much about 40 to go, I was like, okay, I'm going to start getting closer. And then about 30 to go is when I decided it was my go time, so I figured I had just enough tire saved for that.
You did an incredible job getting up there. A little bit of a battle with Carlos before you could get around him. I was wondering if there was going to be enough time. Was there any doubt in your mind as to if there was going to be enough time with a little bit of a battle with Carlos there to get up to race leader?
Oh, I was definitely worried about the whole strategy. I didn't know where everyone else was sitting at or how much tire they had left. I knew they had been racing harder than me, but that honestly doesn't mean anything because they were also. I was trying to stay tighter to make my route shorter, and I was saving tires that way. But I mean, they were doing wide arcs coming off wide, so I didn't know what to expect once I decided to get on it. But it worked in my favor, and I guess I could be super happy about that.
I noticed you using the apron just a little bit, putting your left tires down there. Did it feel like there was a little bit more grip, help the car turn at all?
Yeah, I got on the brakes super late, and it felt like it unsettled the rear. I'd kind of just wedge myself down on the apron until it decided to kick itself back off again. I mean, if you watch Initial D, it was kind of my version of the gutter run. It kind of helped keep everything straight lined and in order. These things really don't like getting sideways. Once you break past the wings barrier, you're pretty much guaranteed to go around.
All right. Well, before I let you go and celebrate, any sponsors or shout outs you'd like to give?
I'd like to thank Corey, of course, for putting this on, and everyone in the top three, James, Justin, and Carlos for putting on a good, clean race. I mean, we're having fun. Me and James always bump and rub a little bit. We've all raced together for a long time, so it's all in sportsmanship and all in good fun. Yeah, I'd like to thank all the lap cars too for being pretty nice and okay and getting out of the way when we're all having good close battles. To you guys for putting the stream on, and hopefully finish out the season strong next week. I don't think I'm in points because I missed a race, but I don't know. I can still have fun with it. Richmond's a good fun track.
Now let's take a look at the standings after USA International. Matt Kruenberg still holds points lead with 212 points. He is 16 points ahead of Trevor Butler, who's currently P2. James Miller, 17 behind.
As a tie in fourth, Carlos Acosta and Race Clark both sit 19 points behind Matt Kruenberg as we enter the finale this Monday night at Richmond.
Three Rock Series concludes at Richmond Raceway this Monday night at 9:15 p.m. Eastern Time. Right here on JCTV.